There. Full screen.
Let go. Let go. No! I am queen. This is the empire I built.
It is over.
People.
My queen loved you. You betrayed her.
This is my fault. No! 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 This was not the deal I made!
Deal? I like deal.
Who are you? Show yourself! At once!
For 1,000 years, bound beneath these waves, I have watched you. I have tasted your essence.
You?
It won't be long now. Your death is near. Only I can sustain you. Let go. Serve me.
You? You are nothing.
Nothing.
I am a god! Before you walked this land, I ruled.
Magnificent.
Serve me, and we will rebuild my empire.
No.
No? You there! You will die!
A queen! Not a slave. You've watched me for 1,000 years, so you know what I want. Take my people. With them, I will raise an army, conquer your enemies, build an empire. As queen,
Or let me die, and you will remain here, a prisoner, the god of nothing.
Arise, Azshara. Arise, my queen.
Oh, ho, 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 ho. Oh, wow. Just wow. Where to even begin? Not with the creepy fish. Let's see if can I get the right frame? There we go. Perfect. So, first things first, the music. Oh my god. Oh my god. Just the sound engineering in general with this episode. The constant contrast between silence, whispers, quiet, and then big events. The use of just small sounds to really accentuate the tension when the fish is flopping on the ground and Azshara is breathing heavy in time with its desperate gasping for air. I love moments like that in this. After, oh wow, just wow, and the drums, boom, 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 boom. It's a march to war. The Naga are coming. All right, let's break this thing down. So the first scenes. This is Azshara, the capital of the Night Elf Empire, a kingdom that spans the entire Pangeic continent of Kalimdor. You can't see much from here, but the city's been, from what we see here, the city's fairly untouched, despite, the War of the Ancients going on right now, the first invasion of the Burning Crusade into Azeroth, which scoured much of the world. But it was centered in Azshara, and the Highborn that resided there were not only complicit, but enjoying the benefits of this newfound power, keeping the entire power of the Well of Eternity to themselves. But as we quickly see, a shadow begins to shroud the land, and a great wave is consuming the city. The sundering has begun. Kalimdor is shattering into multiple pieces. To the east, what would be known as the Eastern Kingdoms is separating and breaking away. Kalimdor is drifting to the west. Northrend has been ripped away and is drifting to the north, and Pandaria, shrouded in mist, is slowly drifting away in its own peace. And Zenashari itself is sinking to the bottom of the ocean. That's not a tidal wave we're seeing. That is the ocean itself coming to consume the city and everyone in it. And the only thing standing in their way is Azshara herself. Her loyalists, her nobles, her followers, her handmaidens, all of her most loyal are gathered in this square near the palace, I'm assuming, as the ocean is rushing in, and she alone is holding it back. Let that sink in. She's holding back the ocean. Just from the shade of the water here, it's already diffusing nearly all the sunlight. So that has to be hundreds of feet of water, hundreds of feet of water pressure that she's holding back by herself. Azshara is an insanely powerful sorceress. So much so that even as the War of the Ancients was at its full force, even those in the Resistance believed that she was not complicit in the invasion. There was no way. The light of lights, the son of stars. She was beloved by everyone by design. She wove spellwork around herself to make her appear the most beautiful, the most enrapturing, the most charismatic, and beloved. What was the line? In place of a dark lord, you would have a queen, beautiful and terrible as the dawn, treacherous as the sea, stronger than all the foundations of the earth. All shall love me and despair. The words of Galadriel ring very true for Queen Azshara. In fact, she was even able to cow Manaroth, one of the most powerful pit lords of the Legion. But here we see her lonely vigil, brief as it is, to protect what's left of her empire. And this use of reflection in the eyes is quite an interesting thematic choice, I think. The idea that something is always watching her, has been watching her. Even in the midst of her final act, her final failure, something is watching and taking an interest in her. And again, the synchronization of her heavy breathing and the fish's last gasps for air. But no matter how hard she tried... Oh, the use of the glowing of the eyes to accentuate tension as well. Here her eyes are blazing bright as she's exerting everything she has to keep the ocean at bay, no matter how futile it might be. Again, with the reflection as whispers start coming into her mind. Let go. Let go. In her own voice, but not her mind. But she refuses. No, I am queen. This is the empire I built. The queen of the Night Elf Empire will not meekly accept death. But no matter how hard she tries, it's not enough. And an interesting parallel to the Sylvanas short, where in those last moments as the water rushes in, the last we see is her face. But try as she might, she could not hold back the ocean. Zenashari sinks to the bottom of the sea. She and all of those who are left are swept away, with nothing left but to drown, and a surprisingly buoyant crown. And as she drifts away, more whispers come to her. Pleas to be saved, accusations of betrayal. Whispers turn to shouts, shouts turn into apparitions, and she is overwhelmed by all of these cries. This is not the deal I made, she protests, and a voice calls out to her. Deals. I like deals. A dark and terrible voice reaches out to her, at first simply taking the form of a fish. But those glowing eyes belie something terrible. I have watched you for 1,000 years. This creature has a vested interest in Azshara and is taking this opportunity to coerce her. But when she defies and says, "You are nothing," oh, nothing? I am a god. And here is one of the first times I believe we are seeing Nyalotha, a great sprawling city of the Black Empire, the first civilization on Azeroth created by the old gods. And I'm pretty sure this is the last of the old gods, N'Zoth. He's been trapped under the oceans in a sunken and drowning prison for eons. And he shows his empire to Azshara. Before you walked this earth, I ruled. And as she looks upon that city, she is in awe. It is magnificent. And he appeals to her, "Serve me, and we will rebuild my empire." The temptation is there. The threat of death is there. But Azshara is not one to meekly follow, and she refuses, enraging N'Zoth. He moves to strike her. "You will die." As a queen, she rebukes. She is the queen of the Night Elf Empire, the greatest civilization of her time, the most powerful nation on this world, greatest in strength, greatest in magic, greatest in wealth, greatest in knowledge, and it was all because of her. Nothing could stand before her at her height, and she will not be anyone's slave, even at the threat of death. So she makes her own deal. "Take my people, and with them I will raise an army, conquer your enemies, and build an empire. But I will not do it as a slave. Or you can stay here in your prison, languish, observe, and exist, the god of nothing." She knows when she has the upper hand. Some quick thinking, and drawing on that charisma that made her who she is. Azshara is a queen, an empress, and she will settle for nothing but rule. N'Zoth is enraged by this, disappears. Azshara seems to think that she has won him over. But as the seconds tick by and her lungs begin to burn, she is not as sure. And in the final moments before her breath gives out completely, it begins. And under the eye of N'Zoth, Azshara is reborn. And so too are her people. The Naga have risen. Together they rebuild Najatar beneath the oceans of Azeroth. They grow and swell in power thanks to the power granted to them by N'Zoth. Lady Vosh reappears centuries later to aid the Blood Elves in joining with Illidan and taking down the Lich King. And the Naga have been a persistent threat ever since. Woe be to their enemies. This short excites me in so many different ways. It was beautifully executed, technically, in the direction, in the music. All of the voice actors were fantastic. Oh my god, the music. And whew, I can't wait to see what role Azshara takes in Battle for Azeroth. I can't wait to see how they're going to handle N'Zoth, how they're going to handle Ny'alotha, how they're going to handle Najatar. It's going to be epic, and I cannot wait. But now it's your turn. I want to know what you guys think. What did you think of Azshara, of her transformation, of her ties to N'Zoth, to everything going on, and what role do you think she's going to take? You think she's going to be the first raid boss that we take down, or is she destined for something greater? I'm hoping for the latter, but I want you guys to let me know in the chat, in the comments, and wherever else I share this video. So, thank you guys so much for hanging out, for watching, and I'll see you next time. And until then, remember to live, to love, and to play every day.